And we are live. This is UFC Fight Night. Belem, Machida versus Anders. This is Ricky.
What's up, guys? This is Justin. And before we talk about this card, we'll talk about last card. It was a pretty good card, man. I only had one play, Nico Price, and yeah, he didn't look the best. He obviously didn't look himself. In the past he was like more aggressive and in your face pressure, and he looked more like hesitant this fight. He trying to fight smart, but I think the first round was pretty close. Second round, he got taken down, but that back take and that choke was pretty beautiful. So, easy money. Thanks, Nico Price, for cashing that max bet, and I believe you had Nico Price too.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he was starting to get lit up on the feet, and then that's when he started going towards like his grappling in the first round. I thought he won the first round, and he ended up getting the finish in the second. It was just he just keeps going and going for it. You know what I mean? And eventually, even if he's not doing good, eventually he found a way to win, and that's what we knew he was going to do. And yeah, I parlayed him with Gregor, who looked like a fucking beast. I mean, I thought there was no way Gregor was gonna lose, because he's so fucking good at he's good at striking, and if it gets hairy, he's got that wrestling and the grappling to in his back pocket to, and that's exactly what he did, and that's exactly what I thought he would do. Gregor is a great fighter to bet on because I think he's smart. He's gonna go for the win. He'll put a pride aside. If he gets lit up, he's gonna go for the takedown, and I like that shit. So that was a good parlay. And then I bet Cachoeira straight to get the win. I honestly feel like that line was way too good to pass up on Cachoeira. I mean, when he fought Whitaker, he was like he was a bigger favorite. And to be honest, I bet Whitaker there. So to say I only bet on jiu-jitsu, guys, you guys can fuck off because that's not true. And yeah, man, I'm glad I bet on Cachoeira because not only is he great jiu-jitsu, but he's got good striking, man. He's calculated, and he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. So on to the next card, man. Way to start this one, man. I think we should keep it going.
Yeah, well, one more thing. God, dude, freaking Brunson, man. I mean, what's up with this guy? Like, I mean, the dude, he's has power, man. He's a pretty good striker, but whenever he fights like those top guys, he loses. And you had a solid pick with a solid bet with Souza. I'm kind of mad that I didn't see that, but I don't know. I thought Souza just was done after the Whitaker fight, but damn, all I'm gonna say is Brunson's a fade, man. I mean, if he's not fighting, a top guy, so even I mean, he's pretty much a fade against someone that like has power. Like if he was fighting like Anders, like I think we know who we would play there.
I mean, I cashed on Anderson Silva when he fought Brunson. So
yeah, it's funny.
He's just not. He can't be top five guys. Like
I bet, and I picked Brunson there, but yeah, Anderson Silva definitely won that fight.
I don't know. I don't care who it was. It could have been controversial, but whatever. He didn't do it. He should have dominated Anderson Silva. And like you said, it's something about him. He just can't put it together, man. He's just kind of sloppy. That shit doesn't work with the top, with the elite. You know what I mean? That sloppy shit. So.
Yeah, well, let's hope.
But he's great. He's athlete.
Let's hope that after Thiago Santos handles business this weekend, he fights Derek Brunson because we know who will win that fight. All right, man. So the first fight of the night, we got Maya Stevenson versus Polyana Viana. This is your typical jobber girl fight. I really did not watch that much tape for this fight. I don't care about this fight. I'm gonna have to go with Viana though because Maya Stevenson sucks. She's married to Joe Daddy Stevenson. They both have something in common. They're both jobbers. And Maya looked very bad on Tough. She's not. I don't think she's good anywhere. And this Viana chick is, has a pretty good grappling. Her striking is not the best, but I think she's better everywhere, and I think that she's gonna get a finish here. So I got Viana by a dominant W. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna go with with the same chick, Polyana Viana. It's a good. I don't really care much about this fight either. Yeah, man. I'll call it next one. So the next fight we got Stevenson Figueiredo versus Joseph Morales, and I did do some tape on this guy. This guy Stevenson Ferrero, man, he cuts a lot of weight, dude. I wasn't he on the last time? Last time he weighed in, he was on the scale. He was crying. He is undefeated though. He just fought Jared Brooks. Um, Went to split. I thought it was a bit of home cooking decision. I think Jared Brooks won that. He knocked out Marco Beltran, which is it's pretty good, but I think Joseph Morales has a lot of potential. He's a brown belt. He's training at Team Alpha Male. He got that nice submission choke off Roberto Sanchez. Roberto Sanchez did pretty good. Like he took him down. Joseph Morales, he threatened the guillotine, and he was able to use that guillotine to make some space, get back up, rock him, drop him, and then take his back and choke him out. I thought it was beautiful, and it showed a lot of potential. And training in Team Alpha Male, I bet you he's even better now. To be honest, I think he has a better guillotine choke than Stevenson, because Stevenson, if you look at when he fought Jared Brooks, the way he does his guillotine is he clamps onto the neck and then squeezes and pulls all the way back hard as he can. And I don't know if you can see that, but for a guy that knows what he's doing, if you can just frame out right there, they're going to be able to pop their head out pretty easily. The way Joseph Morales does his guillotines, he crunches in on it, so it kind of makes it harder to pull the head out, kind of squeezes a little more too. It's more of a new school guillotine. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but a lot of guys have been crunching in on those guillotines. And I don't know. I think Joseph Morales is just a little bit more technical, man. Stevenson is like your basic weasel fucking juice head Brazilian that he's just like massive for this weight size, cuts a lot of weight, throws with a lot of power behind those hands, and I don't know. I think he might even fucking gas, dude. I think I'm going to go with Morales. The only reason I'm not making a bet is because I haven't seen enough of him yet to feel confident about him. But, man, I do see a lot of potential in this kid, and I'm going to go with Morales. What about you?
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I'm going to go with underdog too. I'm not playing it because I'm not that confident either, but I'm not a believer in Stevenson Figueiredo. The guy cuts too much weight. He definitely did not beat Jared Brooks. And he got taken down at will. I think Morales has the better ground game on the feet. I might give the edge to Davison, but Morales is a young kid, man. He improves every day. I mean, he trains with Team Alpha Male, and those guys over there, man. You don't want to fade those guys right now, Team Alpha Male. I mean, they're damn good, man. I mean, so and a guy like Morales, he looked very good in his debut. I will say that Davison has fought better competition, but I'm gonna have to go with the upset here, and I got Morales. I think he's gonna be a little too more technical in the feet and get to the mat and get a sub. So I got Morales. So next fight we got Iuri Alcantara versus Joe Soto. Damn, this is probably the closest fight to call on the night. It's a huge pass for me. I've been going really back and forth in this fight, but I'm gonna have to go with Iuri, man, to get the win here. Joe Soto just got calf sliced against a Welshman. I mean, I know Greg Johns is a good fighter, but I mean, Iuri Alcantara's ground game is legit, and I know the guy's on his way out, but I mean, look what happened in the Luke Sanders fight. I mean, Luke Sanders was messing him up the whole fight, and it goes to the mat and taps him out like this, like butter. I know he lost to Alejandro Perez, but Alejandro Perez is a weasel, man, and the guy gets a lot of wins. So, and Joe Soto, man, in my opinion, I mean, say you want about him, but the guy just doesn't show up for him sometimes. I mean, the guy loses to Anthony Burchak. I mean, he looks good one fight, like against Ron Yaya, and then he just looks like crap. So, I mean, what are we going to see here? The guy that, the good Joe Soto, who's, pretty decent, or the shit Joe Soto? And both these guys, in my opinion, are, on their way out. But I'm going to have to go with Iuri because I feel like he has a huge advantage on the mat. And on the feet, I mean, Joe Soto's pretty chinny, in my opinion. Iuri is a very tough dude, and he throws bombs. So I'm gonna have to go with the guy that has more heart and the guy that has the better ground game. So I got Iuri. What about you?
How can you say Iuri has more heart? That I don't get. When
Look
has
at the
Joe
Luke
Soto
Sanders.
quit?
Look at the Luke Sanders fight. I mean, I've seen Joe Soto quit before, but I haven't. I mean, come on. Have you seen Iuri quit?
I mean, I've seen Iuri just stare at the other guy's face for the fucking 15 minutes of the round, and then just like the last 10 seconds, finally start fighting. That's what he did again in his last fight against Alejandro Perez. That's what I was just about to get to, man. It's like Iuri, he used to throw bombs, bro. He used to be a fucking beast, but now I don't know what the fuck happened to him. But he's not the same anymore, man. I think it was that what is it, when Iuri fought Luke Sanders? I don't know, man. Since after that fight, he lost to Brian Keller. Then he lost to Alejandro Perez. I mean, he didn't do shit against Alejandro Perez. Like, he should have beat the shit out of Perez, to be honest. But he didn't throw. He didn't do anything until the last 10 seconds of the round of the fight. So you can tell he's kind of scared to pull the trigger, man. I just don't think he's the same anymore. Dude, Joe Soto did get fucking cap sliced. That was kind of a I think he just got caught, you know? He wasn't expecting that. No one expects to get calf sliced from a fucking single leg. But, yeah, dude, dude, just because Iuri Alcantara doesn't have any volume anymore. So I'm going to go with Joe Soto with with more volume. He's going to get the decision. But who knows? He can get caught, too. That's why it's a huge pass for me, because you can't really trust either of these guys.
Yeah, it's a close fight, bro. I mean, I would never bet on this fight.
Super close fight. I mean, yeah, I'm at the gen. I might bet. Yeah, I wouldn't bet this fight. I'm not betting this fight. But if I did, I would bet Joe Soto, because I do think Iuri is done, man. He's on his way out.
They both are.
True.
Hey, I'm not confident in
All
Iuri.
right.
I'm not confident in Iuri. I'm just picking him.
Yeah, I'm not picking. I'm not. Yeah, like. All right, cool. Next fight, we got Marlon Chito Vera, who's 12-4, versus Douglas Da Silva de Andrade. You know, Chito Vera is coming off of a loss to Lineker, which was a pretty close fight. You know, he kind of shows that he has a chin. He was able to walk through Lineker's shots. It seemed like he didn't phase him. He's huge for the 135 division, man. And it seems like he cuts it it seems like he's able to make weight without a problem, man. That fucking armbar he hit on Kelleher was beautiful. I mean, Kelleher was going for the takedown. He got the Kimura on him, you know, and then eventually he let him have the takedown, because right when he got the takedown, he knew what he was gonna fucking do. He was gonna go straight, either take his back or go for the arm lock. And it just so happened that Kelleher gave up the arm, and Chito took it home with him. And that's what he does, man. He fucking finishes people. He finished Bryant Pickett. Unfortunately, he was, you know, if he pulls the trigger a little bit quicker, that's all he needs, man. And I think with his Lineker loss, he's gonna learn from that. But we haven't seen that yet, so I'm hoping we do see that. But I'm gonna go with Chito Vera. I'm not impressed with Da Silva at all, man. I think Douglas Andrade, he's like we said before, he's like a bum version of Lineker. You know, he's got a little bit of wrestling, but I don't think it's gonna be good enough for anything that Chito hasn't seen. Chito's got the grappling advantage for sure, and in my opinion, I think he's got the striking advantage. He's got knees, he's got elbows, he's got the length, he's got the reach. So yeah, man, I think Chito wins anywhere the fight goes. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got a play here. I got 2.5 units on Chito at minus 125, and yeah, man, I believe he's better everywhere too. I mean, like we've been talking about all week, you know, Andrade is a poor version of John Lineker. The dude puts everything in every shot. He gasses. You know, he's a pretty short dude. He's built, but I mean, I just don't think he's that good in my opinion. I mean, yeah, he has a good record, but I mean, he's fought in a lot of jobbers, and you know, he's good, you know, for a round, but then he gasses out. I mean, the Rob Font fight was, I mean, that was all Rob Font. I mean, Andrade wanted out of there after that first round, and Chito, you know, looked, you know, pretty decent against John Lineker. I mean, you know, he took that fight, you know, on actually it wasn't on short notice, but who wants to fight John Lineker in Brazil? And I mean, Marlon Vera is a prospect. I mean, the guy probably deserved maybe a couple more fights before he fought John Lineker, but he held his own. And John Lineker knocks out most of the people he fights, and he won the third round against John Lineker. And like you mentioned, Vera he's too technical for Andrade. I think the guy just has more weapons on the feet. Andrade, he's a brawler, and I think Vera's gonna be too smart out there for him, and fight long and use his kicks. Vera doesn't want to brawl with him. That's not the game plan. Vera's gonna use his reach and pick him apart and use his kicks and, his jab. And if it hits the mat once, I think it's over. So if Andrade, people are saying that Andrade has the wrestling advantage. Okay. I mean, I hope he takes him down, because if he takes him down, that's easy money for us, because on the mat, Vera has a huge advantage. He's a legit black belt. He probably has one of the best ground games in the division. And I like this kid. This isn't the same Vera that fought, on the Ultimate Fighter. This guy's improved a lot. A lot of people are saying that, oh, this guy, he could even beat Davey Grant. I mean, this is a totally different Marlon Vera. I mean, this guy trains a team, Oyama now, and I mean, dude, no joke, but Brian Keller is no slouch. I mean, you say what you want about him, but that was a pretty nice submission. And he held his own against John Lineker. So I think it's a good play here, and a lot of people are shitting on Marlon or Chito there, but I think he's going to be too technical, and if it hits the mat, it's over. So I got Chito Vera. So next fight, we got Alan Patrice versus Damir Hadzovic. Now this is a good fight too. Initially, I wanted to play Damir. I actually bet Damir against Marcin Held and cashed that huge bet. I think I got like a plus 300 or something like that. This is a different matchup though. Alan Patrice. Say what you want about him, but I don't think he's a jobber. He's a tough guy. He's a boring fighter, but he's a grappler and he's a grindy kind of style, and he lays on you for 3 rounds, tries to hump your leg, but the dude's tough. I mean, he's only lost once against Tyson. He's 14-1, and you saw what he did his last fight against Stevie Ray. I mean, Stevie Ray, in my opinion, is on a jobber. He's a tough guy. I mean, he might be on his way out because Paul Felder just smoked him, but I mean, he took him down at will for 3 rounds. Stevie Ray had no answer in that fight. I think Stevie Ray maybe took his back once or in a transition, but I mean, other than that, it was a 30-27 performance from Alan Patrice. One red flag I want to say about him is that he's facing a very long way off. He hasn't fought in 16 months, so it could be an advantage for Damir, because Damir's way better on the feet. Obviously, he might be the bigger guy, but the guy gets taken down a lot. I mean, every fight he gets taken down. Marcin Held weight on him for 2 rounds, and then that miracle KO, which I cashed, which is pretty badass. But that being said, I'm gonna have to go with Damir though, man. I think he's gonna get the upset. I did say that I'm not gonna be betting Damir though, because I'm a little hesitant, because Patrice might be weighing on the 3 rounds, but he has a long way off, man. 16 months, and I think Damir is the most athletic guy he's fought since Tyson. And on the feet, it's levels. Damir's levels above Alan Patrice. So I got Damir by upset KO, but don't tell me, because I'm not playing it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the other way with Alan Patrice. I do think he's gonna lay on him for 3 rounds. I'm not impressed with Damir, to be honest. I think he was losing against Marcin Held, and he was getting taken down pretty easily. He's getting laid on pretty easily, and I think Patrice is better than doing that than Held. Sure, Held might have the better jiu-jitsu, but I think Patrice has the better MMA jiu-jitsu. Patrice isn't gonna go for no fucking Imanari roll in the fucking 3rd round and get knocked the fuck out. I think that was lucky. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Who knows? But I'm gonna have to go with Patrice with the lay and pray for 3 rounds. So we got Tim Dirty Birds Means versus Sergio Moraes. If anyone is known to drop the ball, I think Tim Memes has got to be one of them. Ahmed, right? He lost against Alex Oliveira. And you should have smoked him, dude. In their first fight, Tim Memes had his number. He was defending the takedowns, outstriking him, and but he just dropped the ball. That being said, and Sergio Moraes, he's all right. I do think that he's got the grappling advantage. He just got knocked out by Usman, so that's kind of a bad sign, because if Usman knocks you out, I definitely do think Tim Memes can knock you out. Tim Means has a better striking. Moraes has the better grappling for sure. But to be honest, I think Tim Means has good enough wrestling to keep it standing and the better striking to maybe get him out of there. But if anyone is to drop the ball and get choked out, it's going to be Tim Means. So I'm going to have to go with Tim Means, but don't be surprised if Moraes gets a choke, you know. But I'm going to go, but I still, my pick is Means. What about you?
Yeah, I got Dirty Bird too, but I'm I'm not confident at all. It's it might be my least most confident pick besides the Iuri one, but the dude drops the ball so much. If this hits the mat once, in my opinion, Sergio's gonna tap him out because whenever you take his back, it's over. I mean, he taps out before you even have the choke in. So the dude has like 4 or 5 losses by sub. He's on his way out, in my opinion. Though I'm a huge fan of Tim Means, but he definitely is. I mean, the dude just has not been looking good lately. I mean, the wall hurt him on the feet. Alex Garcia hurt him on the feet. He looked slow against Alex Garcia. I know he got the win, but it wasn't like a dominant win. And I thought he was going to beat Belal, but I mean, Belal, damn. I mean, Belal looked really good. I don't think that was a split. Belal might have won, every round, in my opinion. So Tim Means definitely is a better striker than Sergio, but Sergio's a tough guy, and Sergio was actually hurting, Usman on the feet, in my opinion. And then Usman, knocked him out. But like you mentioned, if Usman can knock you out, I mean, Tim Means is the better striker than Usman for sure. So I'm gonna have to give the edge to Tim Means, but I'm not playing it. I don't advise you guys out there to bet Tim Means here because it's a risky fight. Because the dude, Sergio Moraes, has a very good ground game. He might have one of the best ground games in the division, and he's definitely beaten way better people than Tim Means has. So the best guy Tim Means has beaten is George Sullivan. We just thought George Sullivan get choked out against our boy Nico Price. So
that's true, man. And that's the thing is like. Tim Means doesn't beat good people, but he's good. He just can't put it together against the good people.
Yeah, and I know Sergio got knocked out against Usman, but make no mistake about it, Usman's a very good fighter. The dude is a top 10 welterweight for sure, and no one wants to fight Usman. So I know I'm not the biggest fan of Usman, but yeah, he's a very good fighter. I know he is, but he's getting exposed soon. But anyways, Sergio's beaten some good guys. The guy's beaten freaking Neil Magny. I mean, he's beaten Omari Akindemov.
Yeah.
He's beaten Zach Otto. So he's definitely beaten the better competition for sure. But yeah, I'll go Tim Means, but
he's live. Moraes is live for sure.
Oh, Sergio is in Brazil too. He's definitely live. So next fight, we got the first fight of the night. We got Thiago Santos versus Anthony Smith. And I got a parlay, and I have Thiago Santos in the parlay, and then we have another guy later in the card we'll talk about. That's a max bet parlay. And in my opinion, I think Thiago Santos is better everywhere the fight goes. I think Anthony Smith, I'm not going to say he's a jobber. I mean, he was a jobber in the past, but I mean, the dude has definitely been looking, pretty decent in the UFC. I know he hasn't fought anyone good. He's fought, Elvis, Matochich, Andrew Sanchez, who Ryan James is fucking KO'd. Shout out to my boy Ryan James. And also Hector Lombard. And let's talk about the Hector Lombard fight. Hector Lombard won those first 2 rounds. And, I mean, he had Anthony Smith in trouble. But Anthony Smith in the 3rd round is tough, dude. I mean, that dude just, I don't know what happens, but I think he gets yelled at in the corner. But he just goes out there, guns blazing, and tries to knock your head off. He's a slow starter for sure. If this fight hits the 3rd round, yeah, I'll be sweating for sure because Anthony Smith's a 3rd round machine. But in my opinion, I think the guy gets hit way too much. He's been KO'd 6 times. I mean, he's been sub 5 times. I mean, his defense is terrible. I think Thiago Santos is going to smoke him in the 1st round, in my opinion. A lot of people are saying, no, I don't trust Thiago Santos because he's lost to Eric Spicely. Let's talk about the Eric Spicely fight. In my opinion, it was a fluke, but, you say what you want about Eric Spicely. The dude has a very good ground game, and what's going to happen? Anthony Smith's going to take him down and choke him out? I don't think so. Anthony Smith doesn't have any wrestling. I mean, yeah, he has some sub wins, but he's not known. He doesn't have that ground game that Eric Spicely does. And his last 3 fights, Thiago Santos looked like a beast. I mean, he's fought pretty good competition. He beat Jack Marshman, he beat GM3, and he beat Jack Hermanson. And Jack Hermanson was, right outside the top 15. He's a good fighter. And Thiago Santos made him look like a freaking joke. I mean, that was a complete, domination. And Thiago Santos, he has very good kicks. I mean, the dude is aggressive, good hands. And Anthony Smith, in my opinion, is not on that level. So I'm gonna have to go with Thiago Santos. He's a very fast starter, and Anthony Smith's a slow starter, and that's what's gonna hurt him here. So I got Thiago Santos by a first round knockout, and I actually think it's gonna be in the first minute, and it's gonna be a head kick. What about you?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I don't know what it is about Smith, but he just doesn't start. He doesn't start right like fast. You know, he's a slow starter, and I think that's gonna hurt him a lot here against Thiago Santos in Brazil, who's fucking strong. You know, he's got great striking. Yeah, he did lose to to your boy, you know, but fuck, I can't remember his name, but
Spicy.
damn it, Spicely. But yeah, that was that he got subbed. You know, that's probably not going to happen here with Smith. I haven't seen Smith's ground game at all. You know, he was getting his ass whipped by Hector Lombard the first 2 rounds. He was getting his ass whipped by Sanchez, and then all of a sudden he got the KO. You know, I think that's gonna work against guys like that. You know, like against Hector who gasses, against Sanchez who gasses. But that could be because they gassed. You know, I don't think that's gonna work against someone like Thiago. You know. Dude, like I remember I bet Smith against Hector Lombard, and I was yelling those first 2 rounds, like, what the it was the most entertaining bet I probably ever had, you know, because he was getting his ass whooped, and then all of a sudden he got the fucking finish, and I was just like going crazy because like an emotional roller coaster, you know, so it's kind of fun to bet. It was a fun bet. But in those 2 rounds, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, you're so much better than this. Like, he got rocked by Hector Lombard, and he stayed on his knees, and he, like, started bobbing and weaving on his knees. I was like, get the fuck up. Get up. You know, like, what are you doing on your knees? Like, if you do that against Santos, he's going to tee off on you. He's not going to – he's going to make you pay for those mistakes. So the people that he's fought before didn't make him pay. Thiago will make him pay. And the more I think about this fight, the more I think he's gonna get the finish. So I got Santos with the first round finish as well, if not second. But definitely, I think it's the first half of the fight is gonna go towards Santos. The later the fight goes, I'd be getting worried, but I wouldn't be too worried because Santos is not gonna. He's gonna capitalize on those opportunities.
Wait, one more thing I want to mention before we move on. Yeah, man, Thiago Santos has been 3 rounds before, and the dude went 3 rounds with Elias. He won that fight. He won the 3rd round. He put a clinic on Elias. I mean, you know, he definitely lost the 1st round, but he won the last 2 rounds. And if you're gonna go 3 rounds with one of the best guys, in my opinion, in the cardio department, I mean, Elias has some of the best cardio in the division. Say what you want about him, but you know, that guy has solid cardio. And Thiago Santos did not gas in that fight at all. So, I mean, I got props, mad props to Elias too for, you know, taking that beating like a champ to get finished, because Thiago Santos finishes most people, and Elias the tough ass dude. So, all right, man, call the next fight.
All right, next fight we got Timmy Big Dick Johnson versus Marcelo Golm. You know, Timmy Johnson, dude. He's good, but he's just kind of boring, bro. He just likes to hug you up against the fence. You know, that's how he gets his wins and shit. You know, so I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go with Golm. You know, he's got the sub over Colombo, and you know, he's a finisher, man. He's not boring. This is in Brazil. I think it's gonna favor him. You know, the judges are gonna split it up quick, like some other people have said. Gonna have to give the credit to Dan, you know, from Half the Battle, because he mentioned it, and I think he made a good point about the fucking refs in Brazil. But who knows? I'm skeptical about Brazil in general. They have a lot of hometown decisions, and they do have a lot of fucking bad refs. So I'm gonna have to go with Golm on this one. I do think Timmy Johnson is live though, man, because you know, he's still a good wrestler, and you shouldn't really ever completely count out a wrestler. So it's a huge pass, but I'm gonna go with Golm for the win. What about you?
Wow, Damir is plus 210. That is off. I'll tell you that right now. Wow. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with the upset here. I got Timmy Big Dick Johnson. I don't think, you know, Golm has fought in the the competition at all, in my opinion, that Timmy Big Dick has. And Golm, might be, a good prospect in the division, but the dude hasn't fought anybody. We don't even know if he can make it after the first round. If he can't knock out Timmy Big Dick in the first round, Timmy Big Dick's going to grind him, man, for that second and third round. And, I know he lost the last fight against, Junior Albini. That was, Timmy Big Dick's never, has always showed a good chin. That was just, in my opinion, like what he said in his interview, the guy was, hurt going in that fight and, he got knocked out. I don't think he's going to be hurt here. And if he makes it out of the first round, it's all Timmy Big Dick Johnson. The guy has some good wins. He's a good grinder. He's a D2 state wrestler. The dude's wrestling's legit, dude. So I got Timmy Big Dick by a grind fest. So, but I'm not confident, by the way. So next fight, we got Michelle Prazeres versus Desmond Green. I've been going back and forth in this fight. I actually like Desmond Green. I bet him against Josh M. Right now, I bet him versus Rustam. And that was a very close fight. But, Rustam's a totally different fight than Prazeres. But, yeah, man, I'm going to have to go with Prazeres. I think that, he has the better striking. I know that he's looking pretty fat on Instagram, but, he's always fat. And the dude always misses weight. But, there's a record right now. And, people missing weight or, like on a huge winning streak. I think he's going to miss weight and he's going to beat Green. So Green's a very big guy, but, Prazeres might be the stronger guy. And I think Prazeres could actually, kind of manhandle him. I think on the feet, he has more power. I think Prazeres is going to hurt him. And, if it hits the mat, Green has some very good wrestling, but I think Prazeres could hold his own down there. So, he might gas, though. And that's the one thing I worry about. Green has pretty damn good cardio. But I'm going to have to give the edge to Prazeres. And I think he's going to make it ugly and get a close decision win. So I'm going to have to go with the hometown guy here in Michelle Prazeres. And say what you want about him. I know the guy hasn't beaten, the best competition, but, the dude's a dominant fighter, man. He has a very good record. And, he beat Tysonov a long time ago. Obviously, that was a different Tysonov. But, the way he's beating these guys, Gilbert Burns, he's not the best, but, he dominated that fight. He's finishing all these guys. The dude's no slouch. He's definitely not a jobber. And Desmond Green just fights too close. The dude makes it way too close. He just doesn't throw enough volume, and it's not a guy I want to be betting on. I was so pissed last fight against Rustam.
Yeah,
you had that fight. Like, you were winning that fight, and then you just gave it away. So I'm going to have to go with Michelle Prazeres. What about you?
I'm going to have to agree with you 100%, man. Prazeres has been kind of flying under the radar. He's pretty good. I don't know why people are shitting on him. Just because he's kind of chubby, you shouldn't hate on him. The chubby people need love too. But he's huge, man. That fool, I don't understand how he makes 155. He's got nasty top game. He's got that nasty pressure. I don't think Desmond Green's gonna be able to hold him off of him for that long. He's got heavy hands. He's gonna get the clinch and he's gonna find a way to get you on the mat. And I think Desmond Green is going to be in trouble whether they're striking or whether they're grappling, because I do think Prazeres is going to land the harder shots, and that's going to take a lot of and I think that's what's going to get him the wins, get him the round wins. And if he takes him down, man, he's in fucking trouble, dude. That sub he got on Burnell was freaking nice. The north-south choke, is pretty nice, man. Prazeres knows what he's doing out there, and he's got heavy hands and he's got nasty fucking top pressure. So I'm gonna have to go with Prazeres for the win. Yeah, like you said, bro, Desmond Green, he just makes it too close in there, man, and it's not good. That's not good when you're betting on someone like that, and especially when they're fighting in Brazil against a Brazilian. So I'm gonna have to go with Prazeres. All right, next fight, Cachoeira. She's going to be fighting some girl named Priscilla Cachoeira. They're giving her a gimme fight after, losing to Amanda Nunes. She could be very well the champ. Now she's fighting a nobody. So I'm going to have to go with Valentina Shevchenko, man. I don't even know if the breakdown's needed. I don't even know who this Priscilla girl is. If you want to play Shevchenko, I think she's like a minus 1,000. So
there's no value.
Good luck, man. But I got Valentina Shevchenko with finish. She's gonna eat the sacrificial lamb and get her back in that win column. Valentina, who you got?
Yeah, I got Shev too. Shevchenko is one of the best fighters, in the division. I mean, she might actually be the best fighter. She dropped the ball against Amanda Nunes. I mean, that was a very close fight, but damn, dude. In my opinion, dude, Amanda Nunes is gonna be Cyborg. You heard it here, right here. I think she's gonna knock her out. So, hey, we'll see what happens if that fight happens. But yeah, I got Amanda. I think Amanda is the best. So no one can touch her right now. Um, Shevchenko is better everywhere the fight goes, in my opinion. This Priscilla chick trains with Jessica Andrade, who I'm a very actually big fan of, and who's going to dominate Keisha Torres, by the way. We'll talk about that when that card happens. But yeah, man, I got Shevchenko all day, wherever the fight goes. But don't be surprised if she doesn't finish her, though, because she's, not much of a finisher. And, this chick trains with Andrade. She's probably pretty tough. So I got Shevchenko by 30-25. So next fight, we got John Dodson versus Pedro Munhoz. This is one of the best fights tonight. And I'm going to come out and say right here that I have Pedro Munhoz. I think he's going to get the win, but I'm not going to be playing it. I think it's, a close fight. I don't think Dodson's a jobber at all. I obviously bet him last fight, but he lost against Moraes. He dropped him and didn't go after it. He's getting older. I mean, the dude just doesn't throw that much. I mean, he looks good in the first round, but then he gets tired and he just stares at you and runs away and all this. But my theory is that, Munhoz gets hit a lot though, man, every fight early. And he's a tough guy, don't get me wrong. He has a very good chin. He's definitely not chinny. He has a good chin. I mean, is he chinny? Now that I think about it, I don't think so. He's a pretty tough dude, actually. Never been knocked out. He's been rocked, but he has mad heart. And John Dodson, man, is just so fast through the division. Throws bombs. I think that he could win the first round, but then I think Munhoz is going to pick it up. And the moment this fight hits the mat, it's over. I mean, if Dodson tries to go for a takedown, Munhoz, tries to get him down. I mean, Munhoz has the best DT in the division. And so, yeah, man, I'm going to have to go with Munhoz. I think that he's going to find a way to get it to the mat. And this guy's no joke. He's already did the Raw Font. Raw Font was smoking him for 3 minutes, and then he hurt him on the feet. Raw Font turned to a wrestler, took him down, and got choked out. And Dawson doesn't like to get hit. And, Dawson gets hits a lot, man, sometimes. And, I mean, he does not like to get hit. So if he gets hit, doesn't like it, he can definitely go for a takedown because we've seen John Dodson take people down before. And I think Dawson's going to get a little too, scared in there, man, after, because I feel like it's a first round knockout for Dodson or bust. If Dodson doesn't get that first round knockout, which I don't think he's going to, he's going to lose. So I got Munhoz by sub. What about you?
I got Munhoz as well, man, and I got a 2-unit play on him for plus 130. Yeah, like you said, I think he's got a great chin, man. Munhoz, he's looking better. He was getting lit up by Font. He kept striking with him. He didn't get scared. He showed a great chin against Font. You just saw what Font did to Thomas Almeida. Munhoz kept striking with him. He landed harder shots than Font, and he hurt Font. Yeah, and he ended up making Font go for a takedown. And, he snatched his neck up real quick and got the guillotine. And, dude, I have never seen Font tap like that before. It's like it looked like it looked like Pedro was about to fucking take his neck off, take his head home with him. Because, dude, he tapped that so desperately. If Pedro Munhoz gets his fucking head around that neck, man, it's good night. And 3 rounds is good enough time for me to bet that. I do think I do. And, as Dodson's career has gone on, dude, I'm starting to think he's kind of on his way out. You know what I mean? He's slowing down. He's not the same fighter as he used to be. His timing is not there anymore. I did think he lost against Marlon Vera. I did also. Marlon kind of fought a little bit dirty that fight, poking his eyes, kicking him in the balls and stuff like that. But I do think he won. It's just that Dodson ain't the same anymore, man. Who else he lost to? He lost to Lineker. I just think he just doesn't throw enough. His volume sucks. And he just likes to run around, do a blitz, swing at air, run back, and he just does that for 3 rounds. And I think Munhoz is going to figure him out. He's going to put some pressure on him. He's going to make him back up. He's going to outvalue him, and he's going to get the decision or get the sub. I just think his volume is better. His boxing is getting better. So Munhoz all day. That's my underdog pick. That's my bet. All right, next fight. We got the main event. We got Lyoto Machida, rest in peace, versus Eric Anders. You know, Lyoto Machida, he just got finished from Derek Brunson. You know, within the first round, it was pretty sad. And now they're putting him up to fight again against a fucking beast, a killer, a fucking he could like a fucking football like one of the best athletes the UFC has. I don't think it's fair. I mean, look at Machido's coming off a loss to Brunson, Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold. And I think Eric Anders is going to put him to sleep, man. 5 rounds is just way too much for Lyoto Machida. He's too old to go 5 rounds now, especially against someone like Eric Anders. Eric Anders is getting the fight of his life right now. You know, he has 2 wins in the UFC, and now he's fighting a legend. So this is going to be the win that's going to take him to the next level. And I got Eric Anders all day. I think he can even outstrike him. Machida's timing is done. You know, he's old. It's not the same anymore, and that's what made Machida so great was his timing. But now that he's getting old, it's not there anymore. So his timing, his speed is gone, and Eric Anders is a better athlete. He's a purple belt, and I think he said he got purple belt world champion, and that's no fucking joke, man. So I'm sure he can tap out some black belts. So I'm gonna go with Eric Anders for the win. I think he's better everywhere, especially today. Maybe Machida in his prime would have beat him, but I'm going with Eric Anders. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got the last leg of my max bet parlay with Andres and Santos at minus 121 to win, I think, like 4.13 units. But yeah, man, I got honors all day here. This isn't the same Machida. This Machida is not the prime Machida, not the Machida, you know, a long time ago. This Machida got knocked out 3 months ago against Brunson. Before that, he took a 3-year layoff and, you know, got knocked out against Rockhold, then subbed, I think, against Rockhold, and then got knocked out against Romero. The dude is on his way out. The dude's old. I mean, the dude shouldn't be fighting anymore. But like I mentioned, if this was, you know, Machida 10 years ago, then yeah, he'd probably win the fight. But Anders is no joke. The dude is, in my opinion, going to be a top 15 guy really soon. He can definitely beat a lot of guys in the division. The dude's a freak athlete. He has heavy hands in both hands. He's aggressive. He has a good ground game, good wrestler. He's huge for the division. I forgot to mention that. One of the biggest dudes in the division for sure. And I think he can actually take down Machida and, you know, pound him out. But, you know, I think the safer route is just to touch that chin. Machida doesn't have it anymore. So I got Eric Anders all day. And I think he's going to run over Machida. And I think they're going to match up Machida with, they're going to match up Anders with a big fight next. You know, maybe against like Thiago Santos or Brunson or, you know, maybe even Elias. I do think he would beat Elias, though, by the way. Now, I'm a pretty big Elias fan. But yeah, Anders is no joke, bro. That guy's going places for sure. So I got Anders. So for my plays, I got a max bet with Anders and Thiago at minus 121, and I have a play with Chito at 2.5 units. And yeah, what about you? You just have the Pedro bet, right?
That's it. Just 2 units of Pedro plus 130.
Next week we both are going to be going big on a certain play. We're not going to talk about it right now, but we'll do our breakdown next week. But yeah, we're both going huge on one certain play. We might bet a couple other plays. We don't know yet, but I mean, we're going huge. Team bro picks, and you got to watch this and see, you know, who we bet on that. So, all right, guys, I hope everyone cashes their bets. We got a good card this Saturday, and let's keep the good fights rolling. Let's cash these bets, and let's do it. Later, guys.
Later.